If your property investing journey is starting to look like this, and you're preferring that your property investing journey starts to look like this, then this is the video for you. Good day, good day, good day. ICanWin here, and in this video, I'm going to be sharing with you the secret about property without property. Now, I know some of you are going to be thinking to yourself, Samuel, how can there be a secret about property without property? And I'm so glad you asked, because I'm going to be sharing that with you in this video. Now, just to start with, I want to let you know that this is probably the major reason why so many people are finding their property investment journey so confusing and literally are losing. And that's because they don't know the specific secret I'm going to be sharing with you in this video. Now, in order for me to share this secret with you, I have to start by literally taking you back a number of years to around 2012. Now, in 2012 was the year I actually got married, and I married an amazing, beautiful woman, my beautiful wife. And when I married her, I had so many high hopes and so many ambitions for the future. Now, as a couple, there were so many things we wanted to do in order for us to make it and produce all of the goals that we desired to achieve. Now, at the time, one of the things I very quickly realized when I got married is if I was able to crack the property code, all the other goals that I had in my life would become much more achievable. So for example, the amount of holidays I wanted to go on in a year was not going to be possible working as a teacher on my teacher's salary and only being able to go on holidays when teachers can go on holidays. Now, a thing that's really interesting is although I had all of these goals and all of these dreams, there were actually some deeper things within me that I wanted to achieve. I wanted to be the husband that knew he had made promises to his wife and literally kept them. I wanted to be able to look at my wife every single morning and not feel as though I had let her down because I had made her promises about income, I had made her promises about goals, I had made her promises about holidays, and was unable to keep my end of the bargain. So as a result, I faced the challenge of how do I jump this property hurdle? And here's the interesting thing. For many years from the year 2012, yes, I dabbled, yes, I dillied and daddled and tried my best throughout my journey to succeed in property. However, for some reason, it didn't really work until I made what I believe was one of the best investments that any person could ever make in their life. I made a massive investment in myself. And in 2016, I made a massive decision to join a £20,000 property training program. Yes, £20,000. It was £16,000 plus VAT, which worked out to £19,200 or something like that. And that year changed my life. Now, the reason it changed my life was not just because of the information, but it was also because of the transformation I was able to have being around other people who had also invested at a high level in themselves. So a great big thank you to Simon Zucci and his Property Mastermind program, because that's literally where I learned the first, yes, I said first because I'm going to be sharing free, but the first secret that literally helped me understand how I could start to crack the property code without even focusing on property. So let's jump straight into what these secrets are with secret number one. Now, I mentioned this a moment ago. I first learned this particular secret on the Property Mastermind program with Simon Zucci, and that secret was to focus on people and not to focus on property. You see, when I was much younger, when I was 11 years old, one day my mum came home and told me that she had been made redundant. And the interesting thing that I now share with many of my coaching clients and students is that my mum was the first ever motivated seller that I ever met. You see, my mum and my dad decided to get divorced when I was around 6 years old. So as a result, my mum, at the time I was 11, was living in this massive 3-bedroom house, and literally after she was made redundant, had no idea how she was gonna pay off her mortgage. Now, the moment that occurred, that put me in a very interesting position, because being 11 years old, I didn't have a job, I didn't have any income, and I had no way of being able to help my mum. So I literally, as an 11-year-old, watched my mum struggle financially as she attempted to find a solution to selling her house with speed. Now, fast forward to 2016, and I'm on this 12-month program, and one of the things I'm taught is to think about the people, to focus on the people and not to focus on the property. And because of my experience as an 11-year-old watching my mum struggle to sell her house with speed, I instantly had a light bulb moment. Because I started to realize the real secret, the real key to succeeding in property investment, especially if you understand that we make our money when we buy, is to focus on people and not to focus on property. You see, the more and more we focus on property, the more and more we start to realize that bricks cannot negotiate a great deal. The more and more we start to realize that windows cannot say, let's make the price more low. You see, the thing we start to realize when we focus on property is that our ability to get a great deal is radically reduced until we start to negotiate and talk to the actual people. You see, I started to understand from my experience watching my mum struggle to sell her house with speed. I started to understand when I heard that I should start focusing on people instead of focusing on property, that the key to every successful negotiation is not the property, it's not the asset, it's the people who are going to negotiate for the asset. So the person who's going to sell you that property, the landlord who's going to rent you that property, that person is what you need to focus on. That person is the key and not the property. Now, the second secret I'm going to share with you is literally a secret that I discovered which helped me to start to craft a plan in order to succeed in my property investment journey. Now, some of you may know that I created this program known as 30 Ways in 30 Days. And in this program, I literally outlined 30 separate ways that you can make money in property. Now, when I first created that program, many people said to me, Samuel, why are you sharing so many ways that you can make money in property? And I started to explain. It's not because I think people should be doing all of those ways, but it's because I think people need to recognize that there aren't only 2 or 3 ways to make money in property. Gone are the days that the only ways to make money in property are buying a house and renting it out. Gone are the days that the only ways to make money in property are buying a house and selling it on. And gone are the days of making money in property being any other traditional ways like that. There are so many ways in our modern climate to make money in property, which is why I created that program. However, when I created that program, I had one thought process in mind. And that thought process is best illustrated by a very simple story. You see, if you call a plumber to come to your house and to fix the kitchen sink, and whilst the plumber's working on the kitchen sink, you said, hey, Mr. Plumber, Tony, I need you also, if you can, to take a look at my bath because I think there's a leak in the bath. And imagine if Tony said to you, unfortunately, I don't look at baths. I only do sinks. Actually, as a matter of fact, I only do kitchen sinks. My question to you is, would you call Tony back ever again? And the answer for most of you is going to be no. No way, no shape, no form. And the reason why is because Tony has showed you that he lacks the ability to have multiple skills. You see, what many people do not realize in the property field is because they try to be the one-trick pony and get extremely fixated on one specific strategy like buy-to-let or rent-to-rent or HMOs, they fail to see a real opportunity when it drops on their table if it's outside of the remit of their one-trick pony strategy. You see, one of the things I've been sharing with my coaching clients and my students for a number of years is to be well aware of multiple strategies. Because the moment you're well aware of multiple strategies, what can happen is when an opportunity comes your way, when a person comes your way who's dealing with a specific property problem, you're able to very quickly assess that situation and work out the best strategy to apply for that person to win as well as for you to win as well. And the moment you're able to start to work out what's best for that person and what's best for you in order to craft and create a deal, you're in the best position to start to have a plan. But you have to realize this can't happen unless you make a decision, and this is the second secret, to be multi-skilled in your property investment endeavors. No longer be the Tony who only focuses on the kitchen sink, but be the person who understands how to take a good look at the bath, as well as the sink, as well as the pipework, and every other strategy that may lend itself to your hand. Now, here's the reality. It doesn't necessarily mean you have to now go and employ all of those strategies. It doesn't necessarily mean you have to execute on all of those strategies. But what it does mean is you can potentially now exchange with any one of those strategies when you meet somebody who's going through a particular dilemma, who needs to sell or rent with speed, and you can see that it fits a strategy that you don't necessarily employ. Because right now what happens is you're able to say, okay, this is another strategy which which isn't my main strategy, but I can now reach out to 7 or 8 other people in my community and share this opportunity with them. And this is just one of the ways that you can start to get paid from property without actually owning property, by focusing on people rather than focusing on property. And just like I've shared in this second secret, by being multi-skilled rather than a one-trick pony. Now, the third secret is literally one that we should all be aware of, however, maybe not the way I'm about to share it with you. Now, the reason we should all be aware of this is because in the property sector, whenever we purchase a property, we are literally leveraging utilizing the bank or the mortgage lender. Now, the third secret is to make sure that you're leveraging other people's time, other people's talents, and other people's treasure. Now, let's start by talking about other people's time. You see, a number of years ago, I created this program, which is known as Team 10. And in this program, I outlined for people the 10 key people you need in order to succeed at a very high level in your property investment journey. Now, the thing that's interesting about that is the whole premise of that program was to teach people to leverage other people's time. Now, let's do some basic maths together for a moment. If you have 10 people all investing 4 hours of their time in your property investing journey, do you realize that you've been able to just create a whole new 40 hours? Now, here's the interesting thing. Most human beings have no idea how to create time. When you learn how to leverage other people's time, you'll very quickly realize how Elon Musk became one of the richest men in the world in 2021. Side by side with that, you'll also start to realize how Oprah Winfrey has become one of the biggest global icons as it pertains to media, as females making money in this day and age. And the reason is because they have learned the skill of leveraging other people's time. Now, one of the things I want to share with you is if you are able to build out a team of people all investing 4 hours a day of their time in your property investment journey, in your financial freedom journey, what will happen is very similar to what happened for me in 2016 and 2017. You will have people literally creating your financial freedom whilst you still work full time. And what that will do is that will create for you the opportunity and choice to decide whether you stay in full-time employment or whether you start to reap the rewards of your income replacement. Now, these 3 secrets are very, very simple secrets. And here's what Jim Rohn used to say. He used to say, if it's simple to do, it's also simple not to do. I want to encourage you to take heed to these 3 secrets. Be the person who stops looking for property and starts looking for people. Be the person who starts to understand that the second secret shared with you is one you can definitely use, and all you need to start to do is be a person who becomes multi-skilled in your property investment endeavors. And last but not least, be someone who leverages people's time, be someone who leverages people's talents, and definitely be someone who leverages people's treasure, possibly in the form of other people's money, in order for you to move further faster in your property investment journey. This is Samuel ICanWin. If you got value from this video, let us know in the comments below. Side by side with that, why don't you go watch this video right here, which is going to even equip you at a higher level on your property investment journey. And side by side with that, always remember that it's small keys that open up big doors. Good day, God bless, and I'll see you on the next video. Take care.